right, when last time you guys were here, you found yourselves inside of Zardok Sunblight's fortress. You managed to defeat the remaining forces of Zardok Sunblight and rally the forces of Grandolfa to your side. Grandolfa, after your raucous victory, was very pleased at what you'd done and then told you to get out or she would have your heads cut off. You, upon fooling her through some good acting, managed to find a secret door leading through the back portions of the complex, finding eventually Zardok's vaults. You managed to sneak in, steal most of the treasure, and escape without Grandolfa removing said heads. You know that Zardok's dragon had left the facility and you destroyed all of its repair facilities and you eliminated Zardok and his men and have left the facility in the hands of another Dwergar warlord. Hopefully she's better than the other, you hope? But you left the facility in the hands of another Dwergar warlord as you played one side off against the other and destroyed the infrastructure, including the dragon heart powering the forge that would be necessary to make repairs and keep the dragon going or make new dragons. So that's taken out. The Shardlin dragon, however, continues to circle the world of the Icewind Dale, following the path that Zardok has set for it, destroying cities along the way. You escaped into the driving snow and blowing winter on the outskirts of Zardok's fortress as you made your way out into the elements. And that is where we find you guys now, in the elements. And I will take you there now. Let me bring you the sounds of the Icewind Dale. Sorry for background children, which I'm playing upstairs because of network issues, so. All right. Into the driving snow. And I'll take you there now. One moment, as soon as I find it, there you are. It's cold. The weather is relatively calm, but it's late. The sun is about to set, so it's not after dark. And you find yourselves out in the snow as the sun is setting. What little sun you have outside of Zardok's keep. Grandolfa and her men have not noticed your fleeing yet. What do you all do? I'll turn it to you guys. What does Cadillac think?
My thoughts are the same as they were previously, that I'm keen to get a little bit of distance away and then set up something of a camp so that we can have a little bit of a recharge, because I think a lot of us need it. But getting a little bit away from here might not be a terrible idea. That's my thought.
Agreed.
The plan was to try to make your way towards the signal that
right
that Yatara had managed to pick up on her skull brain. And okay, so who's leading the party out into the wilderness, trying to make their way towards? It may need to be Yatara, since Yatara is the one that's sort of picking up the signal if you're heading in that direction. Or I guess another person could do it if you're just going to try to head out somewhere due west. So who's
I can do it.
leading you?
I can do it.
Okay.
Yeah, whoever's, and I'll
I have it.
tell them in general direction we need to go, so that way we can get safely outside and then set up camp if need be.
I guess
Okay.
do we have a sense of who has a better? Like I have a +5 to survival. Does anybody have anything? Anybody got a +6? Anybody?
I have a +7.
Oh, there you lead.
Ooh.
How does Zarya like make it clear that she knows the land and knows the way? And
I feel like I would just constantly be going, no, we should really go this way. It's a little bit smoother of a path. No, that's gonna lead us off into like this dense forest, or
Just like shake your head and start
there's
walking
like
off.
There's a cliff over there. You don't want to go that way. Like I think I'm just like being that annoying, like, backseat driver.
you're just constantly correcting.
Yeah.
Okay. Zarya, roll me survival to find a good place to camp.
Wow.
You are unmolested and make it further than otherwise would have been expected for you to make it. In fact, I'm going to bring you up to the map with a crit roll, and I'll show you. You're not lost at all. No random encounters along this way. You find the perfect spot to set down camp and to set up your instant fortress if you wanted to. In fact, you make it about halfway there into like just outside this wooded area along the creek, like right about here, further than one would have expected, at a point where you could easily turn north through and follow this chasm back towards the Tin Towns, or you could continue on along the branch of the river here towards where the signal that Yatara was picking up came from. So you're able to expertly track your way there without any difficulty or getting lost in the weather at all. But at this point, it is you've tracked through the dark as you've just been expert, and you found the perfect spot. So that's as far as you can get before it is complete pitch. So I assume you're setting up your camp here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I am, correct me if I'm wrong, you're going to, Ordella's going to toss out her magic cube and open up the fortress.
Heck yeah.
And everybody is going to camp inside of
Yeah,
that.
and turn the heater on and get the hot tub out and everything.
You better believe it.
You haven't purchased a heater. You haven't purchased a heater or a hot tub.
It came with the fortress.
The fortress is simply a building.
It came with the fortress.
Yes, you do that.
I can only assume that this dragon heart pelt that I now have is incredibly warm.
Not anymore. It was when it was alive.
Now it's kind of cold and sticky.
Yeah, now it's just kind of, sticky. Okay. And what are you guys doing? Are you just getting to bed, or everybody taking a long rest, or are you setting watches, or what are we doing?
I'll take the first watch.
So you're going to set a watch?
I can take the second watch.
Okay.
I can take third.
Okay. First watch, please give me a D20 luck roll. Okay. Whoever's got second watch, give me a D20 luck roll. Okay. Third watch, D20 luck roll. And who is the last watch? Give me a D20 luck roll.
Leonard will take last watch.
Just don't critical fail it, Leonard.
All right.
Okay. Okay. You have had 4 people roll greater than 10. So the night passes without really any significant event. And as you wake up the next morning, you are unmolested by the weather. It's relatively clear.
Awesome.
It is still cold and, you know, a difficult slog, but without any molestation along. No beasts are surrounding you. Grandolfa's armies don't seem to be present. What do you guys do? Where are you headed?
Further toward the beacon.
Okay. Who's doing the leading and guiding? And as you get closer to it, I think Yatara will probably have to be your primary source here. So,
I mean, I can start us in that direction, but I feel like I would be relying heavily on Yatara and how they're feeling.
Yeah, I'll help guide you.
yeah, so that's fine. Zarya, you can roll survival, and Yatara, why don't you roll it as well? So well you're able to translate your brain visions. Okay. Yeah. With that, you are able to slowly make your way there. And eventually you see it, what you think must be it, out of your peripheral vision. There is a deep gash that is cut into the valley of the snow above, and you see what looks like a strange, like some sort of structure that is kind of half buried in the distance. You just sort of barely make it out, and it gives you a little bit of an uneasy vibe to it, to be honest with you. What do you all do?
I, feeling this general unease, look around the terrain to see if there is any indication that there has been movement or activity going to or from this whatever it is.
Okay, hold on just a second. Night-night. Night-night, night-night. Uh-oh, you're stuck. Okay. I got night-nights. You're looking for sort of movement around it and things like that?
Yeah, if I can tell if it looks like there have been patrols coming out of it or any sort of activity.
Not from where you're at. You'd have to get closer to it. You're sort of like up on a ridge above it. You can see where it is, like crashed down into the snow, and you, from where you're at, you think, you know, I guess roll perception. Yeah, with a 12, you're just not sure. There's like signs of like things scattered around it that might have been left by figures, by like individuals, but you know, it's got
Could also be debris.
Yeah, it could also be debris. It's got this weird like glow to it almost. It's really ominous, and you can see that there are these things that look like almost look like octopus tentacles, but they must be as large as like a tree trunk that are sort of like lapped up over the edge of whatever is driven into the snow. I don't think you've ever seen anything quite like it, like giant octopoid tentacles, and it seems to have this kind of like weird purple green glow to it in the like twilighty sky that is around. But what you see could just be debris, but it could be signs of activity or movement. The easiest way to approach it is sort of from the rear, where it has carved a gash into the valley.
Hey, Jeff, can I tell, is that where the sound is coming from?
You are 100% certain this is where it is coming from. And it keeps repeating the same phrase over and over and over again in your brain. And I've said it a bunch of times before, but I'll give it to you again. It basically says, Nautiloid down, emergency protocols enabled, vessel imperiled, retykristof needed, come at once. And it's clearly speaking as you get close to it, Jonathan, or Yatara, in a language that you don't understand, but somehow you understand it. It's not common. If anybody spoke, what languages do you speak, Yatara?
So, Leonard speaks deep speech.
So if Yatara were to repeat what he hears, Leonard would recognize it as deep speech.
Got it. Is it getting
Yatara
or is it-
understands it, but doesn't really know why he understands it.
Is it getting
Jeff is-
louder?
Oh,
or-
go ahead.
It is louder here than it has ever been before. Yes.
As
Leonard.
we close in on this structure, how's Yatara look like sane and with it, or like possessed and crazy, or
No.
a little bit of both?
He's he looks like Yatara, which might be possessed and crazy. You're not 100% certain. But no, he seems to have his wits about it. It's almost as if holding the psi crystal imposed some degree of madness for a time, but that time has passed and he's been able to tame it.
And it doesn't seem to be getting unstable or erratic as we get
No,
closer.
he's not sitting on the ground cross-legged saying something about his precious while stroking a skull.
Okay, just making sure.
He's not gone full Gollum on you.
I mean, it did scar me with Steve Buscemi eyes, but other than that,
That's canon now. You have Steve Buscemi eyes as you're staring into the distance must have.
Why do I have to be Mr. P?
You guys approaching it? And how?
We did come all this way.
Yeah.
Pushing Yatara kind of out
Yeah,
front since he hears it more.
Go get him,
I'm just
Tiger.
going to assume. I'm going to assume there are pelts in there, and I'm just going to start walking toward it.
Okay.
There must be something dead, and I can skip
Yeah. If,
All right.
if not, there's about to be.
As you get a little bit closer, I will bring you to the scene. One moment, please. Let me find the scene. There it is. I want you all to recognize this is original artwork by me.
Wow.
As you find this giant structure that is crashed into the mountainous terrain, and you're able to sort of approach it in the easiest approach from the rear portions of it. And as you get closer and closer to it, we'll just give it a minute. Yeah, Yatara, you hear it louder and louder than ever, and it's just buried in snow.
Can we tell how long it has been here? Like in the sort of skid marks and the terrain, and does it look like it's been here for a while and the snow has built up, or does it look like this was a relatively recent event?
Sure. Roll survival to sort of get your feeling of the weathering of it and the snow terrain change and that sort of stuff. This is a measure of your understanding of the nature and how it affects the thing. It's been here
Nice.
maybe a week or two. couple weeks.
Mm.
No longer than when Yatara heard that first signal. It must have just crashed then. So it hadn't been there that long. There's a little bit of snow on top of it. As you get closer to it, you do notice some like prints around the snow.
So, in a sort of a low tone of voice, I turn around to everybody and I say that, based off of just what I can sense here, I don't think this has been crashed here for very long. So I think we should be cautious. I'm a little bit worried that we may run into whoever or whatever may have crashed with this thing, and they may or may not enjoy visitors.
It's very strange because the ship, or if it is a ship, if you've ever seen anything like it, you've never seen anything like it, and it doesn't look like any seafaring boat you've ever seen before. So I'm not sure you'd recognize it as a ship, but it is almost like half alive and half machine. In some ways, it kind of reminds you of Leonard, but in other ways, it's very confusing in that, like, is this a living thing or is this a mechanical thing? And you're not 100% certain, as it seems to kind of like pulsate and almost breathe.
I do think that that Cadillac doesn't really understand this is a ship, but he does understand that it came out of the sky. So whether it's a building or whatever, it's just very confusing to him, and he's on his guard about it.
Yeah,
It doesn't feel natural.
It's almost like pulsing, as it sort of like kind of breathes. Cadillac, you were looking earlier. Roll me perception again, Cadillac.
Oof.
You notice some markings around the snow that are sort of surrounding it, but they don't really look like any kind of markings that you have ever seen before, and you don't really recognize what they are. They're just sort of like strange, like little lines or something in the snow scattered around.
So
you think like chickens in like a chicken pen or something? It's just like little lines. You don't like.
So I remember I heard Leonard a moment ago talking to Yatara about being able to understand some of the words in Yatara's head. I'm sort of motion over Leonard and say, "Hey, can you make heads or tails of whatever this is?"
Yeah, Jeff, does it look like words?
Leonard, roll survival.
Okay. Rolling survival.
Tracks of some sort.
Tracks.
Roll nature. And now, Granite Guts, you can roll nature now that Leonard has said, those are tracks, Cadillac. Both of you are extremely perplexed and would have no idea what kind of...
Space chickens.
You've never seen anything like this before, but it looks organic. It looks like
Clearly
some sort of
space chickens.
And in fact, the first thought that comes to you guys' mind is some sort of scavenging animal that has like come around and trying to like pick off like any like organic, like eat part of the, like some sort of like Icewind ale critter has come by. You don't know exactly what kind has come by and trying to like pick off pieces from it, or like,
like a giant vulture, like a giant ice vulture,
something like that. Some sort of scavenger creatures have sort of been picking around here. That's all you get, but you don't know what kind. You don't notice any signs of them at all with these rolls. Nothing.
Can I see any damage done to the ship that I perceive maybe didn't happen because of the crash or scavenging chickens or whatever that was?
Sure, roll perception. Not from your current perspective. You think that, if you could get up to it and inspect it a little closer. You're currently like behind it, probably 50, 60 feet from the thing. You think maybe if you got up closer to it, you would be able to have a better perspective, but not from just sort of looking at it from a distance. It's obvious to you.
Perhaps we should get a closer look.
I agree.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest moving up closer. See if I see anything moving.
Yutara, how are you feeling?
Crazy as ever.
Okay.
Oh.
As you all do that,
Oh, it didn't like that.
bursting out of the snow buried beneath it
Oh,
are several large creatures.
space chicken.
They don't look like space chickens.
Hmm.
They don't look like necessarily anything you've ever seen before. In fact, I'll show you a picture of what these things look like. They look otherworldly to you. They look like this. They're like almost like giant bug-looking things.
Eee.
And they burst forth from the snow.
Jeff, can I see? Do they have little claws that could be compatible with the markings?
Yes, their feet look like centipede feet, and you can see easily in the picture that I just showed you, there are small trails that are traveling around with them, and as they move through the snow, it becomes clear that they are the things responsible for the strange markings that you previously saw. They bear their like centipoidal teeth at you, and everybody roll initiative.
Oh, I didn't click me.
All right, I'll get you in a minute. Let me roll their initiatives. What did you roll, Leonard?
13.
Leonard, I gotta move you for a second to be able to get you in there. 13, and you're sort of back in the back as the others sort of leered forward.
I'll get into this sometime tomorrow.
Yutara, you're up first. What are you doing, Yutara? As these things all burst forth, one very near you. What you got for me?
The one that is closest to me. Come on, calculating. I'm gonna try to get the one that's closest to me. Real quick. The hypnotic pattern in this square. Will it get the other as well? We'll get both of them.
Yeah, you could potentially get both of those in there.
I'm gonna cast hypnotic pattern at 30-foot square and at 30-foot view.
And they have to make what, wisdom saves?
17.
wisdom saves. They're not super wise. Both of them fail that. So you see two of them just stare into space.
You label them if they get hit.
Yeah, I'm going to label them as these ones are hypnotized. And do they get to make the save every turn? A good spell.
Hey.
I need to remember how that spell works. Alright, grit twisting pattern on a failed save to become charmed for the duration, which is up to a minute while you're concentrated. While charmed by the spell is incapacitated at a speed of 0. So basically it is for a minute as long as you're concentrating on it. Okay. So you're charming those two. And you've got them wrapped in your brain. It is this one next to Granite Guts' turn. And Granite Guts, it's gonna like swack at you with its tentacles. 14?
That does not hit.
Okay. Okay. And then it's gonna try to bite you. Sorry. Things are running slow. 24.
Oof. Yep.
Does 15 piercing damage to use it. Takes a big old chunk of a bite into you.
Yeah, these things are no joke.
Ordella, you're up.
Okay, since the one in front of me is hypnotized, I'm going to get my dancing longsword out
Okay.
and take it over to the one in front of Cadillac.
Okay.
And then I'm going to hit that one.
That's a crit.
Wow.
All right. So that does 14 damage
14.
to it.
And then might as well try again.
That is another damn crit.
Man, 12.
Wow. Hang on.
I'm wasting all my good hits.
No.
No objection from me.
I bet. But once I get to the one in front of me, I'm gonna like critical fail.
It's still there. Leonard, you're up.
All right. Leonard. I guess.
They're still way in the back.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to firebolt and then move forward.
Which one are you firebolting?
I'm going to firebolt at this one over here with nobody near it.
Good choice.
And then move over here and hide behind Zahar.
Okay, so this one way over here?
Yep.
All right, roll me the damage. That's a hit.
10. Oh, plus 1d8. 15 fire damage.
Wow, so 25.
Oh, no. No, 10 plus 5. 15
Okay,
total.
so 15. Got it. All right. It is the incapacitated one's turn, and it's incapacitated. And it is the other incapacitated one's turn, and it's incapacitated. Harkus, you're up. As Yatara has battlefield control half of the combatants away.
Nice.
Come up on this one.
That's a miss. That'll do it. And that does 8 or 7. Probably
It's
8.
two-handed, and then so 11 total,
Okay.
and then I will unarmed strike him as well.
Okay. Yeah, that's a punch. You punched the slimy bug in the gizzard. It feels real yucky on your hand when you do it. Zarya, you're up.
Okay. The one that's taken the most damage.
That'd be the one next to Harkus and Granaguts.
Can I get a wisdom saving throw, please?
Okay. You sure can. You tolling the dead?
I am.
Alright, I'll get the music down a bit.
Okay.
It fails that, I assume.
Yeah. It takes 8 damage. So that was my action. Bonus action, can I throw up a spiritual weapon right there in front of it?
Sure. I don't know what I did with your spiritual weapon avatar that I made. I'm gonna have to...
I think last time you gave me just the same sword that you gave Ordella or something.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do.
Fine for now.
I need to find it. I don't know what I did with it. Alright, I'm coming with it. There it is. I'm gonna have to shrink it. Oh, there it goes. So where are you putting it?
Right there in front of him is fine.
Okay.
And can I attack with it?
Sure. That's a miss.
Okay. That is my turn.
It is this one's turn. How intelligent are these things? Pretty dumb. Okay, pretty dumb, I think, is slithers over and bites Harkus. Tentacle whip, Harkus, 18.
Yep.
That is 3 poison damage, and make me a con save, please. You are paralyzed.
Oh.
Marcus, you find yourself completely paralyzed, unable to move. It's gonna bite at you with advantage now. It crits.
Hold on a second.
So that's gonna do 24 piercing damage to you.
What?
Yeah, you're paralyzed, so it has advantage on that bite attack. As you failed your con save against its poison.
Let me. Yeah. Sorry, my D&D Beyond just died.
Okay, that's okay. You take 20.
I thought there was something that maybe it's at the next level, but there's something that I gained. Okay.
If you can find a rule to undo the 24 plus 3 damage, 27 damage, and you're paralyzed.
Okay. All right.
Cadillac, you're up. You see Harkus all of a sudden get like tentacled by this thing, and his back goes stiff, and he falls over, and then it starts to like eat him.
I am going to say a quick prayer to Sylvanus and cast Divine Favor, which will give me an additional +4 or 1d4 rather to my hits. I think I'm going to need them. And I am going to take 2 swings with a Dust Crusher at the guy right in front of me.
Okay. That's a miss. Actually, the 16 is a hit.
Oh.
13 is a miss.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Right, and so then I'm going to go ahead and roll for the D4.
Now, was that a two-handed roll, or I assume a two-handed roll?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's the additional radiant damage.
All right, describe to me how that radiant damage kills that one, because the radiant damage is what does it.
Oh, excellent. It just bursts into a big goo pile,
Yeah, just like there's slime.
Of purple,
Imagine-
I'm presuming.
Imagine that scene in Men in Black. Which-
Nice.
Did that have any effect on Harkus, or is Harkus still paralyzed?
Nope, Harkus is still paralyzed. Yatara, you're up. You're still concentrating on that spell. You can take actions, but anything that uses your concentration will release those two.
Yeah, I'm gonna back up a little bit.
Their eyes are doing that hypnotoad thing.
Ah,
One that's on top of Harkus. I'm gonna pop it with a firebolt.
Fireball or firebolt?
Nope.
Okay. That's a hit.
nice.
Just
Good strong hit. Doesn't kill it, but it doesn't like it. It lets it act. Anything else, Yatara?
I think that's it.
All right. Ordella, you're up. The one in front of you is doing the hypnotoad thing. Your dancing sword is sitting over there by Harkus.
Okay. Then I'm going to. Let's see. Alright, I'm going to use Dancing Sword on the one by Harkus.
Right now, that's a bonus action. You get one swing out of it as a bonus action. I let you have 2 rounds last time because I counted one as your action and one as your bonus action.
Oh, okay. Okay, well then I will swing at it with my longsword, and then I will go over there and hit it with my great axe.
Okay. 17's a hit.
Sweet.
And at a 7, you still have your action, and that includes 2 attacks if you want to use it.
Alright.
So you're going to run over there and hit it with your great axe? That's a crit? You have crit 3 times.
And then.
Hang on. I got to figure out that roll. That crit 12/4. 7 plus 12, 4. What is that?
23.
But
Is that right?
it just looks weird. It didn't.
It does.
It's like it didn't roll it right.
Yeah. 20. All right. Describe to me how you kill it with that crit, because you bring that bad boy down.
Just
With your
another
axe.
explosion of green goo.
Just goo everywhere. Just
Oh,
green
yeah,
goo
all over Harkus.
splatters all over.
Totally missed me all over Harkus.
All right, Ordella, you still have a little bit of movement and another attack if you choose to use it.
All right, well I guess
Probably not enough to get over to these guys. but
Oh,
you could,
pibbies. Okay,
you
well
could,
then
like,
let me just
throw,
do
you could like throw something.
firebolt.
Oh, you've magic now. You studied.
Yes.
That's a miss.
Oh, pibbies.
I like to think that you've got little firecrackers that you shoot off because they're artificer magic.
Pew.
Leonard, you're up. Is Leonard gone? Leonard, you're up.
Sorry, I was talking.
Oh, I was about to take his turn.
So these two are still stunned?
Yeah, they're still staring into the sky for about, you would guess, if you knew how long magic worked, about 40 more seconds.
And if I hit them, they become unstunned.
That's right. The question is simply, can you get by them into wherever you want to go in the next 30 seconds? It's not really a useful for get out of combat spell, it's really more of a combat control spell.
Yeah. I'm going to move to here, and I'm not going to wake them up. I'm going to hold my action, which is a firebolt, if someone else wakes them up this turn.
Okay. It is its turn. It is still paralyzed. It is its turn. It is still paralyzed. Harkus, you're up. What say you?
You're muted.
I'm paralyzed, so
You can re-roll the saving throw if you like.
Okay.
Con save. You are unparalyzed. Zarya, now you're up.
Okay. I'm going to take a cue from Leonard, and I'm going to go to the other side. Bonus action, I will move my spiritual weapon up to this one, the closest one right here.
Okay.
And I'll go ahead and attack with my spiritual weapon.
Okay, roll it. It's paralyzed. Take advantage on that roll.
I forget how to do that with D&D Beyond. I don't think that did it.
That's a hit. You can fish for a crit if you want to.
No.
That hits.
Okay.
All right, that does 9 damage to it, and its eyes stop doing the hypnotoad thing as it seems to wake up. It lets out a horrific roar.
And now that I have done damage to it with my bonus action, can I toll the dead? May I have a wisdom saving throw, please?
Sure. Critical fail. As you ring out your shield, it lets out a horrific wail. Cadillac, you're up. You see that one of them has become unhinged.
Does that cue Leonard's held action?
Yeah, I suppose it would. Leonard, you were
Okay.
watching its eyes to see if it comes unparalyzed?
Well, really watching for movement. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Leonard was
moving.
watching.
It's definitely moving as it's been hit. It's wiggling around now. So you unleash a firebolt that hits.
For 6 fire damage
It takes...
plus 8 fire damage. 14
Ooh.
total.
As it takes a bunch of damage. And now finally Granite Guts is up.
Okay. My first thought is to turn to Harkus right quick and ask, how are you doing? Are you okay?
As long as all of that doesn't transpire again, I'll be all right.
Okay. Then I am going to move to here, and I've seen what happens when you get into close combat with these things, and so I decide to blow some bubbles. And then after I blow my bubbles, I decide to cast Shield of Faith as a bonus action, which will buff my AC to +2. And then I will pull out my lance, which has reach, and then give 2 pokes with my lance from a distance.
Okay. What actually in the world happened with all that bubble sound?
I have no idea. It wasn't me. Okay, well, while we're pondering that, Mister, I'm going to go ahead and poke with my lance.
Yeah, poke. Miss.
Oh, damn.
So you poke, and it misses.
Oh, damn. Okay, so, well, the good thing about this is, let's see, I moved 5, 10, so I'm going to move 10, 15, 20, 25.
Everybody getting away from these nasty things.
Yeah.
All right, Yatara, you're up.
I was gonna say, I love how I hid behind everyone and then everyone ran away.
Yeah, they've moved. Yeah, they got away. Heck yeah.
You're on, bye.
Bye. I'm also going to move. I'm also going to pop this one. Just with a firebolt.
Okay. That's a hit. Okay. It's looking bad. Ordella, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to get my dancing longsword over there. I can't drag it. You drag it. Okay. Hit.
That hits.
Sweet. 6.
Okay.
And then firebolt.
Miss.
Ah. Another firebolt.
Miss.
Ah.
Leonard.
All right. We are going to now just not hold the action. We're going to repeat it with firebolt.
Miss.
Okay. Well, never mind.
It is its turn. And it's going to... What's it going to do? It's going to come after the nearest thing it can, which, without getting too far away from things, which is Granite Guts. Technically, spiritual weapons and swords don't have reactions. If you guys want to use your reaction for this upcoming round to take a opportunity attack, that'll be your reaction, Ordella and Zarya. I'll let you do it. But it'll spend your reaction. If you want to spend your reaction this round to take an opportunity attack on it with your longsword or spiritual weapon, and it will use one of your 5 uses of your longsword, maybe your last one, you can take that opportunity attack if you like. Same thing to you. It'll use your reaction to do so. Zarya.
Sure, I'll take it.
Alright, roll the attack. It's a miss. And I think your longsword returns to you.
Yeah, it should.
Zarya, or...
I'll try it, because I don't think I'm going to have another reaction this time that I'm going to want to use. So.
Okay.
Nope.
A miss. Granite Guts, as the thing gets up on you, it's going to tentacle swipe at you. 26 to hit, Granite Guts.
Yeah, of course.
That does 3 poison. Make me a con save.
So,
you're a dwarf. You have advantage against poisoning,
yes,
right?
yes, sir, I do. So what was that again?
Constitution save with advantage for you.
Okay.
Or do you take half damage to poison? What is it? Is it advantage or half damage? I can't remember.
I have advantage against poison.
Okay, so
and
take
then
3.
and then on top of that, a +1 to all saves.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be a 14.
Thank goodness for that. You passed that, so you are not paralyzed.
Yes.
But it's going to try to bite you, regardless. 24.
Lord have mercy.
It doesn't do as much. 9 piercing this time.
Okay, so did I actually get the poison damage?
Yes, you take 3 poison damage, but you are not paralyzed.
Okay.
You're not poisoned.
Got it.
So you take 12 damage total.
Got it.
It is the other one's turn, and Yatara, you were still concentrating on your spell. I think it probably has maybe 2 more cycles before your minute is up. Harkus, you're up.
Okay.
So basically 12 seconds left on Harkus's spell. Or not Harkus, Yatara's spell. That'll do it. What does it look like? What's it look like as you bring this thing down with the staff?
It looks like fury.
Just anger.
Completely unbridled. I've been paralyzed and laying on the ground fury.
The snow is cold.
And then 25. I'm moving over here. I'm taking the second one to this guy.
Okay. You have advantage. You roll again if you want to try to crit.
Yes.
You do crit. Oh wow.
So 23 plus my
savage attack.
Now let me get the calculator. Figure out our damage.
Holy shit! You just tell me the total.
47.
All right.
Carry the 1.
Yeah. 13.
You're going to have to take off your shoes to count this high.
I have 36.
36. What? I don't understand why I have a total.
All right, so what are we?
I've got 36 damage. Is what
Okay, plus the 8.
Yep.
Plus the 8. So that makes what, 40?
No,
4?
36 total with the 8 is what I'm adding.
Hold on.
Okay.
Because
So-
you've rolled it 3 times, and I'm giving you the high amount here. I'm giving
I only
you
hit
20.
it once.
What's all this damage?
I don't know.
I'm giving
Or
you.
all right, let's start over.
I'm giving you 23 plus 8 plus 5.
Okay. Fair enough. So 38.
You did 36 damage in a
25.
single.
What? 13, 23, 31, 36.
Yes, that's what I have.
And then I'm going to flurry of blows in because I'm
You have
super...
36 damage in a single swing of your staff.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. It's not paralyzed anymore, but yeah. Oh, that second one misses. Oh, I wanted that second one to hit so bad. I wanted that second.
Now you just made it angry.
Oh, it's pissed.
You and me both. So the other thing, hold on. So hold on. So so I hit a critical hit that dealt bludgeoning damage.
Yes.
So here, let me put this in here. So I should have advantage on my flurry of blows attacks.
Okay, you can roll that advantage for that 14. And you can re-roll the other one if you want to try to crit on it. Holy shit.
Wow.
Yes.
Damn.
Okay.
We just rolling. Good night. Let's go to Vegas.
Show me what the damage is. Harkus, please describe to me how you run up, smack this thing with a stick, and then punch it and kill it like in a single, like mad
basically,
dash.
I've grabbed 2 of the tentacles, one on either side, and just ripped and sort of separated his head with them.
Oh my.
I think everybody just looks over at Harkus in pure horror as Harkus just runs over, smashes its brain in with a necrotic stick, and then grabs its face and rips its face apart.
He's like, I didn't need this pelt. I just want to tear it to shreds.
Yeah.
So, Harkus, I have to know, as you were doing this, were you literally screaming rip and tear?
Yes. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
It is an absolute pure horror show. Wow.
No one speaks to Harkus for the next couple hours.
All I can say is I feel better now.
At the end of it, Harkus is just sort of sitting there going, yeah.
That's all I got.
Oh, that's all you got?
I think as I'm watching this, I'm going to walk up behind Harkus and put my hand on his shoulder and say, it's dead, Jim. But as I'm saying it's dead, Jim, and I don't think this will actually work, but I'm going to try casting Lesser Restoration.
Okay. What are you trying to restore on him?
I mean, it's technically a madness. I don't think he can do it, but I don't know if Zari would actually know that, right?
Right.
Like, something's not right with him. Let me just try.
I'm just going to try to make him feel good right now, so.
Yeah, unfortunately, alas, that doesn't really seem to do much work to him. But,
Yeah.
you know, it was a good shot.
Good effort.
It was a real good shot.
And at this point, I've started, like, scooping up the pieces of this thing and, like, trying to hold them together to see if I could maybe fashion them into a pelt of some
No,
kind.
there's no pelt. It is pure goo and destruction. In fact, it's one of the most horrible things like you've ever encountered. But you are trying to put it together somehow.
Since I took a bit of a wallop, I'm gonna go ahead and use Lay on Hands to tank up a bit of my reserves, because I don't trust this thing, and I don't trust this area, and I want to be a little bit prepared if we run into anything else that's nasty.
Okay.
Now that I'm closer to it, do I see any additional damage that isn't explained by a crash or vermin chewing on it?
There are parts that have been opened up, and are you climbing up on the thing?
No, I think I'm still on the ground. Like unless there's
you can see
coming
signs.
with me, I'm not climbing
You can
anything.
see signs of activity, and you can see signs of what look like footprints, and then you see some other strange things that look like some strange kind of footprints that you're not real familiar with.
I'll just point them out to the rest of the party. Don't know what these are, but they don't look like those, and I point to the other prints that were clearly from the other things.
Everyone roll initiative.
Leonard will gladly go first to check out this techno-organic marvel.
Okay. Where are you going, Leonard?
So, assuming everybody's going to follow me, or some people are going to follow me, I'm going to try to find a way in, like, maybe, do I see on the tentacle end a way in?
Nothing. Roll me investigation as you're sort of scouring around it.
25.
With a 25, Leonard, as you sort of climb around this thing and look, as you reach, are you willing to go sort of all over it? Yes, no?
Oh, yeah. I'm going like around here and...
Gotcha. As you climb up to onto the more mechanical looking parts, Leonard, right about here you find a hatch. It's not well pictured on this screen here, but I want you to just sort of imagine amongst this debris that is kind of banged up mechanical pieces, there is a hatch here. Or maybe not even a hatch, but there's like a gap here that descends down into it, where there's kind of
I can see like the hole torn in the
broken area where there probably would have been a hatch here, but it's kind of broken off, and there is an area that descends down into this thing.
Can I see, like, trying to figure out what this is? Do I see propulsion devices, or
roll me like a, I don't know, what check do you want to use to artifice it? Try to understand it.
Arcana maybe as a proxy for...
Yeah, I think it's magic. Roll me Arcana.
Artifice?
You can, okay. You don't see any mechanical means of propulsion. It's either something magical or it is something beyond like a mechanical understanding. There's not a propeller blade. There's not a jet engine that you can understand. It works on some sort of like dimension shifting technology that is, in the words of Futurama, the ship doesn't move, it moves the universe around it.
Fair enough. All right. Throughout this, I'm gonna, recognizing that this is some sort of conveyance, I would like to see if can it fly again? Will it fly? So as we journey through this, that's where my eyes are pointing.
Yeah, sure. With your 24 Arcana check and 25 Investigation, I'll give you that the damage that is done to the ship is not beyond repair. It's not ready to fly right now, you can see there's a hole in the hull, and there are some things that appear to be broken. And you also notice that it doesn't seem to have power. Like whatever powers this thing is like, it's not like energized. Like the engines are down.
I'm ready to crawl in.
Okay. Are you just crawling in there?
Yeah.
All right, you guys all watch as Leonard just drops down into a hole in the thing. Leonard, I'll get to what you see in just a minute. What does everybody else do as they see Leonard just drop down into a hole in the thing? He goes, does Leonard say anything to everybody else, or is he just like enthralled
I'll
by
let
this
him
thing?
know I'm going in. I just can't. I just can't help myself. This is too cool. The curiosity is overwhelming. Caution has gone to the wind. He's just looking around, marveling at what this is and what it could be.
Make a new character.
Yeah, I think seeing this, like, I would look around at the others, then look down into the hole, and then I would follow.
I'm following as well. This has been what we've been seeking this whole time, and I am very interested to go ahead and lift the veil on some of this. Even though I am a little bit worried as to what we're going to find.
Is there anybody that's not just dropping down into the hole?
Yeah, I'm going to cast Fireball into the hole.
Before or after Leonard has dropped in? Right now, I'm going to say after.
Of course.
After. No. I'm going to go into.
Okay. Is anybody not just dropping in?
I'm looking over at Harkus. I'm not going to be the last one out.
Ordella, do you just drop in? Everybody else has dropped in.
I guess I'm dropping in.
Ordella's in. Harkus, are you dropping in?
Harkus all by himself.
Yeah, might as well.
All right, Harkus drops in. Everybody has dropped in. I love this about you guys. This is the best thing in the world, because I love how you guys will do like the oddest things sometimes. Y'all are like, sometimes you're like, we'll send a drone in and we'll all lean over the edge and just peer in and like look and be super cautious. And then sometimes you're just like, I just fucking drop right in.
I didn't hear any screams, so.
I thought about looking for traps, but if there's a hole blown in the side of the ship, if somebody is trapping that, that's not a universe I want to live in.
No, it's not trapped. You all drop in.
Everybody make new characters.
No, ma'am. As you drop in, I'll describe what you see here, because it's weird. As you drop into this area, attached to this walls of this chamber are sets of chains and manacles that seem to be designed to hold large creatures. There's a staircase that's rising to the next deck amid crates, barrels, and broken pieces of equipment. Let me turn down the music just a bit.
Thank you.
Crates, barrels, and broken pieces of equipment. Moving along the detritus are several small creatures. Three of them are these repulsive purple things that are floating above the ground, and they are pulling themselves across the floor using oversized face tentacles. They look like this. They're these small little things pulling themselves around the floor atop these oversized face tentacles. And Leonard, you recognize immediately that these little things, by their face tentacles, are the tracks that you had seen outside that you didn't recognize or understand. And the other things that are walking around are these large, lumbering, humanoid-looking creatures that are sort of walking bipedal. And there are three of them. And the bipedal creatures look like monstrosities that have been stitched together out of pieces of goblins and reindeer and other sorts of like woodland creatures that would have been found around here. Like there's one of them has a bear's arm, and one of them has like a reindeer's leg, and one of them has like part of a goblin for its like chest cavity, and the other one seems to have a dwarven like shoulder from some like human 10-towner or something like that. And as you drop down in here, the three creatures that are scurrying moving about on their face tentacles, they jump into crates and run and sort of hide themselves as quickly as they can, letting out these loud like almost buzzing noises that are strange and sort of you don't understand what kind of buzzing noise they're making, but they like just as you drop down into the hole, just immediately like jump and hide themselves. And the lumbering creatures, they move towards all of you in a aggressive posture. Everybody roll initiative. The lumbering creatures made out of parts of things.
I rolled none too soon. I got an 18.
Okay, one moment, and I'll get you in there. I wanted to re-roll initiative rather than have everybody keep the same, because it didn't seem fair to the people that rolled bad.
Which was most of us.
You got an 18, Yatara?
Yeah.
The little creatures that are trying to like hide amongst the debris and crates are not super well hidden. They seem to be trying to stay as far away as possible, but I'm going to unhide them because they are not effectively like hiding themselves. They are sort of like cowering behind these crate things.
But they appeared to be hiding when we showed up, not from the abominations.
Not from these abomination things that are like... The abomination things appear to be carrying boxes and some sort of equipment or something, and like hauling stuff around. And these things sort of run and scurry to hide as you all drop through the hole. The abomination things... I'm calling them abominations, but they appear to be like conglomerations made out of parts of creatures that would have been found around the north. Some of them appeared to be like humanoid creatures like dwarves and goblins and reindeer and bear and elk and all sorts of like things that you would have found. Zarya, you're up first as these golems, for lack of a better way to describe them, lumber towards you. The room has two cannons that are next to you that appear to be on platforms that can elevate up and come out onto a platform of the ceiling. The entire room is surrounded by strange tentacles in the wall as the ship seems to be half alive. Imagine the Borg ship from Star Trek.
Okay. In a 10-foot radius from this, that's not the... from basically the center of that square, so those three.
Yep.
Can I get a Constitution saving throw, please?
Sure. 11, 8, and 10.
Those all fail. As I cast Scatter, and rather than roll the damage, can I have the three of them take max damage as I use my Channel Divinity?
Okay.
For, I think it's called Destructive Wrath, I think. Yeah, it's Destructive Wrath. So that would be... Shatter is 3d8, so 24 damage to the three of them.
You got it.
All right, and then I'm going to back up because I don't know what these things are. So I'm just gonna like, that's the measure tool. I'm just gonna like dart over here by the cannon. And that is my turn.
Okay. Leonard, you're up.
Okay, Jeff, these creepy crawly tentacle things.
Yes.
We have seen now a mind flayer.
Yes.
Do I get a feeling that these creatures are tangential or associated or related or proto mind flayers or anything?
100%.
Okay, then
They almost look like baby mind flayer.
Then I'm going to step out to here in deep speech, say, whoa, 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 let's not be too hasty. We were called here to help.
They all look at each other. As you look at them, you recognize, as you sort of get closer to them and talk to them in deep speech, they look at each other, and they seem to be telepathically communicating to each other. And Kenny, you recognize them. They are gnomes that seem to be mind flayerized in some way. And they sort of like look at each other and start wiggling their little tentacles, and then another one starts wiggling its little tentacle, and then they look up and start wiggling their tentacles upwards. Like they're telepathically communicating around the boat. Are you doing anything else with your turn?
No, I'm gonna.
But they don't seem to be able to speak, but they are telepathically communicating with each other.
I'm going to leave myself exposed as a gesture of peace. I'm not holding any weapons. I'm not going to attack or provoke them. I'm going to try to talk, try to communicate with them.
Okay.
I will hold my hand out and edge to gently, carefully within 5 feet of this one.
Okay. Yatara, you're up. What are you doing, Yatara? Does Yatara see Leonard's action and think like, you fool, what are you doing?
Yeah. Okay.
There's flesh monsters that are moving towards us.
But the calamari are probably in control of them, right? Right, I hope.
You think so? Actually, cast hypnotic pattern on all 3 of them.
Okay.
Combinations are
All right. You can get 3 of them, I suppose. Wisdom, wisdom, wisdom. That's a fail. That's a fail. And that's a fail. So all of the fleshy monsters just start seeing Hypnotoad eyes.
blocking Kenny.
So it's going to skip its turn. Harkus, you're up.
All right.
Leonard is up there trying to wave. The things seem to be telepathically communicating by wiggling their tentacles around. Yatara has just hypnotized all of the big scary monster things. What does Harkus do? Harkus hold and see what happens, or does Harkus charge in? Smack.
I think Harkus is just going to sort of ready the staff and see what happens.
Okay. That one is paralyzed. You get your staff ready. Granite Guts, what does Granite Guts do?
I'm going to take my gleaming silver lance, and I am going to exhaust my movement to get here as close as I can to Leonard within sight of this box and the creature in it. And I kneel and I put the lance on the ground and then stand back up and put my hands in the air and in a gesture of peace.
What is Ordella?
I think I understand what Leonard's doing, even though I may not be able to understand what the words he's saying.
What does Ordella do? Ordella's just getting back. Ordella, it is your turn. Leonard is trying to make peace with the things, waving his hands. Granigus just laid his spear down before one, and Harkus has got his sword at the ready but is not struck after Yatara hypnotized all of them. What do you do, Ordella?
I'm just gonna stand there and lower my weapon, but I'm not gonna let go of it.
Ordella lowers her weapon before everyone. And as you all stand with your weapons held, the next golem is up, and he doesn't move. Coming, barreling down the steps from a deck above, is a fully grown, but what actually looks like a gnome. These look like little squidlings, but a fully grown mind flayer that is a gnome actually comes barreling down the steps. And as he looks up at all of you, he raises his hands up and he goes, "Stop! Stop! Stop! This has all just been a big misunderstanding! Everybody stop! There's no need for fighting here!" And he looks at all of you and he says, he looks at the other things and goes, says something, "Call them off! We mean you no harm!" And waves his hands around and shouts this all out to you, but doesn't shout it. He seems to like telepathically say it into all of your minds. And
Yes.
that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we will leave it for the night. He looks up at all of you and he says, "My name's Volrin. I think you've brought what I need. I sense it. You have the Psi Crystal. I think we could help each other." And that is where we will leave it for the night.
Yes, we have superpowers.
I hope you guys had a
Power
good time.
of friendship.
I hope you guys had a good time.
Yes.
You've made it to the crashed alien spaceship. You've defeated slug monsters and made your way inside and have made friends with a mind flayer.
That's what we do.
Who sounds like this?
What could possibly go wrong?
Nothing. Leonard, as an epilogue, roll me perception.
Perception.
Beat a 10. Just beat a 10. Leonard, you notice that on his hip, he is carrying what you could only describe as a ray gun.
Oh my god! This is gonna be tough. Do I have a new friend, or do I convince Harkus he needs another pelt?
We'll leave it at that for everybody. I hope you guys had a good time. We will
Marcus
see
needs a
you
ray
guys.
gun.
We will see you guys next week.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Good
Good night.
Good night.
Night.